A Ghanaian man is facing jail, and this brother has landed himself in serious trouble. He is currently detained under the Mental Health Act for his attack on his wife. This guy is a mental health nurse who has lived in the United Kingdom for many years, and he is a British citizen. This young man's life has turned around from somebody who was doing very well, and now he has been detained in mental health institution. Good morning. The Launch Club shares stories about the lived experiences of immigrants in the diaspora so that lessons can be learned. Knowledge, they say, is power. There is no substitute to information. That is the difference between success and failure in life. If you see any value in this afternoon's content, kindly support this channel by hitting this like button, share so that other people can learn, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel as we dive into the story of Osei. This is this guy's real name. Osei was dating a Nigerian girl named Chinyere. They both met when Osei did not have papers, and eventually they supported each other throughout the process. They have dated each other for more than 6 years. Osei said it was Chinyere who encouraged Osei to go back to university and supported him when he became a nurse. She herself, which she eventually later went back to study nursing as well. Osei is now a registered mental health nurse working in the United Kingdom. Osei, it was reported, was madly in love with Chinyere. When he informed his mom, who is from the Ewe tribe, his father is now deceased. His father is from the Ashanti tribe, according to his cousin who contacted me to share this brother's story. He informed his mom that he wants to marry Chinyere. The mom said to him, "Over my dead body, you will never marry a Nigerian lady." Unfortunately, the irony of this case is that Osei and his family, they actually lived in Nigeria when he was younger. He understands Nigerian culture very well. When he told his mother, the mother said, "You will never marry a Nigerian woman." And the mother started giving different reasons. Nigerians are fast, Nigerians are scam, Nigerians are this, Nigerians are this. You will marry a Ghanaian woman. The unfortunate part of this is that Osei is his mother's only child, and the young man loves his mother unconditionally. Osei was caught in a catch-22 situation. He wanted to marry the love of his life, but at the same time, he did not want to disregard his mom, who has been the only constant figure in his life since his father passed away. Osei said he did not know how all of a sudden the mom came up with the idea of marrying Sandra. Sandra, it has been reported, is from the same tribe as Osei's mom. They both attend the same church in Ghana. And the mom said, "This is the woman that I want you to marry because I know this girl to her family. I know she comes from a very responsible family, and I know that she is a God-fearing Christian woman." Instead of Osei did not know how to break up the relationship, to break the news to Chinyere that he was not longer interested. Meanwhile, Osei has already sent money for people to go and do introduction to meet Chinyere's family in Nigeria. Just give them some money. He sent his uncle and a few people without his mother knowing. Because of how far him and Chinyere has gone, Osei did not even tell Chinyere everything. He just changed his number and disengaged from the woman that has been there for him. Osei then met Sandra. He went to Accra and he met Sandra. He said Sandra was a very beautiful girl. He said one of the reasons that he was blindfolded was he was captivated by Sandra's beauty. Osei's cousin said Osei told him that he was mesmerized by Sandra's beauty and physique. He went to Ghana. The first time they went back again, Osei got married to Sandra. When Osei got married to Sandra, Osei then applied for Sandra to come to the United Kingdom on a spouse visa. Sandra was granted visa. Meanwhile, Osei was frequently traveling to Ghana before Sandra was eventually granted a visa. When Sandra came, a few months later, Sandra disclosed that she was pregnant. Osei was very excited about the news that he was going to become a father for the first time. He has always wanted to have a large family. Sandra had a baby. The baby was born baby boy. The baby was healthy and everything went well. A few years later, Osei said he noticed that every year, Sandra will always travel to Ghana. He said they've got a festival they are doing in Ghana. He will always travel to Ghana every year. She goes to Ghana twice. Osei said he did not suspect anything because he thought this is the love of my life. I'm married to her. I'm happy. Osei did not suspect anything. What Osei didn't know was that before Osei's mom introduced Osei to Sandra, Sandra was in a committed relationship with her boyfriend in Ghana. Osei's mom did not know that Sandra was in a relationship. And when she asked Sandra, Sandra did not tell her that she was in a relationship. Sandra was always going to Ghana. Sandra fell pregnant with the second baby. She had the second baby. The baby, this time around, the baby girl. Osei was very, very happy. But as the children started growing, Osei said he noticed that these two children, they do not display any of his characteristics. They do not, they're in terms of his resemblance, they did not really look like him. But he didn't really suspect anything. He just said, well, maybe it's different family gene and things like that. He saw the children as his children. But he said that he noticed that somebody was always calling Sandra, and that person was always calling Sandra. David is the guy's name. Always calling Sandra, always calling Sandra. Sandra said David is somebody that they went to school together. He's a family friend and they know each other back home and they are very close. Nothing. He said he didn't suspect anything. One day, Sandra has now applied to indefinite leave to remain in the UK. Osei said he came back from work one day. He was using the computer. He started checking and seeing how to apply for divorce, how to apply for spouse visa, and he was confused. Why is my wife checking for how to apply for spouse visa, how to apply for divorce? What is going on? He said he didn't really ask his wife because it didn't really make sense to him. He said one day, him and his wife, they used the same iPhone and the two iPhones have the same account. He said he later noticed that the wife became suspicious. The phone will ring and she'll go to the kitchen and she'll go to the bathroom to answer the phone. He was wondering what was going on. He said one day he came back from work, night shift. The wife used the phone, they used the computer. Meanwhile, the wife's WhatsApp is linked on the computer. It's linked to the computer. He said he just came in that morning and he just said, let him quickly check something on the computer. And he started seeing the wife's chat on WhatsApp. That the wife is telling this guy, don't worry, babe, I will apply for you. We're just in the process of processing the divorce. I'll do the divorce. Once I apply for the divorce, I would apply for you. Let me just apply for my British citizenship. He said, Osei said he was shocked. My wife is calling another man, babe, and I'm seeing all these things. He said he just calmed himself down. Then he went to arrange a DNA test because he wanted to know what was going on with his wife and this guy that the wife is calling babe. He said he now started suspecting that these children, maybe they could not be his children, but he did not want to draw any conclusion until he has done the DNA test. Osei said then he then arranged to have DNA tests for these two children without the wife knowing what was going on. He did the DNA test. The result came out that 99.9% Osei is not the father of these children. Osei said he was mad. He was mad. Here he is him. He's now above 45 years old. Where is he going to start from? He was mad. Osei came back from the DNA. Sandra was on the phone. I see Sandra saw Osei, say, hello, babe. She ended the call. She started talking to Osei. Osei just said, brought out the DNA result and said, tell me who is the father of these children now. The woman said, what are you talking about? He said, tell me who is the father of the children. I have the DNA result with me. It showed 99.9% that I am not the father of these children. The woman was saying, no, you are the father. After, when the woman realized that Osei became deregulated and he was shouting and said, look, I will kill you if you do not tell me this. Osei had a knife and he was threatening the woman, kill me, I'll kill you. The woman was starting to say, it's my boyfriend, it could my boyfriend. But as soon as the woman said that, Osei grabbed the woman's neck and he hit the woman. Blood started coming up. He said he didn't mean to hit the woman, but he was holding the knife and started dragging the woman, holding the woman's neck. Blood started coming out. Osei dropped the knife. The woman was shouting. The neighbor said the neighbor called the police. As soon as Osei heard that the neighbor called the police, Osei had the knife and said he wanted to kill himself. Osei started stabbing himself. Say, I want to kill himself. I cannot take this shame. I want to kill himself. He want to kill himself. He want to kill himself. Osei was stabbing himself, shouting that he wants to die. He wants to die. So it was Sandra that had to hold Osei because Osei was hitting his head aggressively that he wants to end it or he wants to end it all. As soon as the police arrived at the scene, they met Osei saying he wants to kill himself. And meanwhile, this is somebody who has assaulted a woman and at the same time he wants to kill himself. And in the United Kingdom, when somebody poses a risk to themselves and to others, the law says they have to be detained under the Mental Health Act. Osei was then detained under the Mental Health Act. When they took him to the hospital, instead of Osei to calm down and try to process what was going on, he was still insisting that he wants to kill himself. He wants to kill himself. He was hitting his head. They had to be giving him medication to calm Osei down. Osei, after staying in that place for a few years, they had to give him, put him in a high risk unit because he keeps saying he wants to kill himself. He wants to kill himself. The cousin who contacted me, Richard, told me that when he went to see Osei, because of the medication that they are giving Osei, that Osei did not even recognize him again. That the man, they couldn't believe that this is his own cousin. Osei couldn't recognize him again. He's just shaking his head. The cousin said his life now has been ruined. Osei, the house that he has in the UK, Sandra and the two children, they are living there. Sandra has now told Osei that she wants divorce, that she doesn't want to marry Osei again. Meanwhile, the cousin's worry now is that Osei's life will never be the same again because of the medication that has been pumped into his head. The CPS have said that they will review Osei's case. At this moment, they cannot prosecute him because of his mental state. Meanwhile, if he's fit enough, he will stand trial. But the worry now is that the two children that Osei thought they are his children, they are not his children. Osei has been reported to the nursing council because of the risk he won't be able to work as a nurse again. He has lost his house. He has lost the two children that he thought they are his. They are not his. He's now facing charges for assault, and everything that Osei has worked for, he has gone. Richard said when he told Osei's mom, this is what will happen, the mom said, the mom initially said she couldn't believe that she believed that they have used juju for Osei. Meanwhile, Chinyere, whom Osei was dating, as we speak now, the girl, she hasn't married anyone. She still hasn't come to terms with how Osei treated her. Sandra's mom is now, Osei's mom is now saying that she believed that it's a Nigerian woman that used voodoo for the son. Do you agree with that? Let me know what your views are. The sad reality is that these Ghanaian brothers who was doing very, very well today, his life has been ruined. He's been detained under the Mental Health Act. His career is gone. The children are not his. He doesn't have any, he cannot return back to his house. There are valuable lessons that can be learned from this story. I know some Ghanaian brothers and sisters may attack me and say, "Oh, you're sharing story about Ghana." I have shared a story about a Nigerian doctor whose three children were not his, and he later found out after DNA test. We share stories on this platform to educate our people. We do not look at tribe, religion, or nationality. The Ghana and Nigeria, they are one people. Before you attack me, remember, if you are from the Ewe tribe, you are originally Yoruba. That's where your ancestors came from, or your state. If you are from the Gan tribe, you're originally Benin. Before the Europeans came, Ghana and Nigeria, we were one people. We're here to educate ourselves. If you see any value in this content, kindly share. The sad reality is that this brother's life may never be the same again. This is a very painful situation. Don't forget to share with anyone. If you see any value, kindly give this video a like.